Most days back in 2019, I would simply just go to school and sometimes take a part time job to make a little bit of money. But then in the back of my mind, I've always wondered how people have actually made money online. I went through countless discords, countless group chats of people trying to make a single ounce of money online with no prevail, besides those stupid $10 surveys. The reason I wanted to talk about this topic is because pretty recently, like just the other day, I actually got the chance to talk to this guy. So it all derived from one person. This one person basically told me one thing, and that changed the course of my life. I'll get to exactly what that was, but this meetup, for me at least, was very nostalgic, and you guys might have that opportunity as well. Whether it's a business opportunity or even like a connection that led you to a job, it usually does just take one person. Isn't that crazy how big of a butterfly effect that one thing could actually have? I think it's really cool. So that's why even to this day, I still have my messages on, even though I have a huge audience on faceless YouTube channels, or even on here, I don't deny someone talking to me because you never know. But before I even got this opportunity, I was still doing YouTube, but I did it more casually. It's like one of those channels where you just put in a bunch of brain rot, but instead of putting brain rot, it was just me and some friends playing video games and me wanting to document it. There wasn't any end goal, and honestly, I didn't even care about the money behind it because at that age, I just wanted to be famous, as a lot of kids nowadays, are wanting to become. But yeah, back in like 2019, I was definitely very heavy into juggling school, some part-time work whenever I got the chance to. And those positions were not really paying that well. I think at that time it was paying maybe like $7 to $9 an hour. I'm not really sure because it's been a while since then. I'm 23 right now, by the way. But yeah, I basically felt like I wasn't doing anything because the money that I did make online was $0 to $100. Now, at that time, it sounded like a lot because I was still in high school, but in the grand scheme of things, I could have just got a job and made that money in like a day or two. See what I'm saying? And so that was kind of an issue for me. So this success that I thought would be super achievable kind of felt like it was this gigantic wall in front of my face that I couldn't scale, right? Because mentally, I was like, damn, I don't even get paid that much online, and in real life, I only get paid a little bit more and a little bit more consistently. But again, I did part time, so it took a lot longer for me since my hours were limited. I did part time, and sometimes I couldn't even go because of school. This was probably one of the most frustrating times in my life, and I don't want to go back to it. But if I did, I kind of now know how to traverse it a little bit better. But I simply was trying to become famous and just trying to get some traction. And the $100 a month that I was generating, assuming I did hit that 100 mark, it was plenty enough for me at that time. But I did have the entrepreneur will, I would like to call it, at that time as well. So I was in many, many making discords, and they weren't the best. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of them were telling me to write blog posts, to get into running advertisements on scammy websites, doing ad fly links, doing surveys. And if any of you guys have tried any of these hustles, you'll know that they pay really low. It's oftentimes not even worth the amount of effort that you put in to get that money, which really sucked. And I didn't know what I was doing wrong because I knew that people were making thousands online, but I just didn't know how. So I did get a little bit reliant on YouTube. Luckily for me, through YouTube, I got to meet a bunch of connections. Now, at that time, obviously, I didn't call them connections. I called them just friends, right? Meeting a bunch of content creator friends where we could talk about stuff that we were both interested in. And that was plenty enough for me. And so I just kept on meeting creators any chance I got. And anytime they had a social media and I saw that they were in the same niche as me, which was gaming, I reached out to them. And so all of a sudden, I then got into a contact web of just people that I knew. And that was basically where I met this guy. So I'm going to leave him unnamed, obviously. I'm not here to really out people or have his DMs flooded with a bunch of people because this opportunity is not present anymore. I actually checked up with him to ask him about that. But at that time, there was this opportunity where I got to edit Roblox videos for a company. And so my position would be to basically be fed a topic. I would create a video based off of Roblox games. So I'd record Roblox, I'd talk about a topic, and it would be like a quick 3 to 4, maybe even a 5 minute video. And I'd edit it all together and send it over on a Google Drive folder. And that was literally it. This was the opportunity given to me, and I wasn't really sure why. So now looking kind of back at it, it was probably because he got a higher percentage than me, which makes sense. So he was probably looking for motivated creators to do the work for him. So it would be outsourced work. And then he'd obviously downsell the product. But that was completely fine with me because I was barely making $100 a month. And all of a sudden, each video I make is 25 bucks. This was huge money for me. And so it was literally just one of the most casual lines ever. He just asked me if I wanted to make Roblox videos for payment. And I thought about it for a little bit because I thought about the workload it would actually give me. But then I realized like it was pretty simple work. You know, it wasn't just like a business plan. I didn't have an out. I didn't have anything. I simply just needed to say yes. And that's when I did it. I said that I would accept this offer of his. And that's when my editing gig began. So until now, I've simply been editing for myself. I never thought of editing for a different person because I wanted to be famous. I didn't really want to make someone else famous, but at that time, I really needed something going. And so this was it. This was my go. And so I took it. And this was scaled to the max that I could, at least at my age, for what I assumed was to the max. I could have done more, but I didn't want to run into burnout. But I didn't really know what burnout meant. It really didn't matter. It wasn't much, but it stacked up. I did like 12 to 15 videos every single week. And so it added up to a pretty decent amount. And this basically broke my mental ceiling of being stuck at $100 a month. From here, then all of a sudden, it became $1,000. And it was no longer a hypothetical. I had my vehicle and I didn't even know it was right in my hands. The reason why in the title I put that it still pays me to this day is because of what I've learned while doing that gig is literally a timeless thing. So I did the gig and I didn't do it for too many months. I did it for a few months. So not only did I learn how to actually deliver good quality content for the person or the company that I was making it for, I also built up talking confidence, gameplay confidence, and realizing that I can make content that people would be okay to watch. And so this was another lever, I'd like to call it, that was flicked in my brain. Like, just because I think that people could watch my videos, that was all that I needed. That was all the motivation, I guess you can call it, that I needed to actually go out there and put out some stuff. So now years later, I now still to this day make income from this content stuff. Though I might not do it as actively as I used to, it still prints me paychecks every single month. And it's not even just about the income. It's also about the freedom, right? And now I have the freedom to work from anywhere in the world. So maybe you're still making money from skills that you sharpen because of that one gig. And that's perfect. Because I don't really like to talk down on gig work. I think it's a really good way to learn the skill and try it out yourself without having to have the risk of owning your own business, paying off your employees, and doing all this extra steps. Because if you're just doing the gig, it's a lot easier and a lot less stressful to one person. So, depending on where you are, you might already be an existing business owner or an entrepreneur. Then a lot of this might actually relate to you because you probably have that one person or that one video. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be a video. It could be an advertisement you maybe saw one day. It doesn't matter. The point is that it's that one thing that kind of snowballed into where you are now. And obviously I put in the work, okay? It's not like I didn't do the work. I put in a lot of work to get there. So I don't want to give it 100% of my credit, but I do think credit should be owed to things like that. But I'm not here to tell you to quit your job or anything like that. But I'm telling you, if you are stuck in a loop, then this could be a method, just kind of getting to know people and having those doors open up to you. Networking is important. And honestly, even myself today, I didn't realize how important of a skill this really is. Sometimes it really isn't a course, it's not a guru. It's just one moment, one offer, or one small win that'll snowball into where you will be in 5 years from now. And it's very unconceivable if you don't allow it to be conceivable. So, I think that you should just start reaching out to people. Reach out to people that you're interested in, reach out to people that are doing the same thing as you. They don't have to be above you in terms of income or in terms of progress. They can be with you until you find someone that is above you. So a lot of the times when I was reaching out to creators, it was just a bunch of creators that were just as big as me, and then that snowballed into me meeting my first 1,000 subscriber creator, to 10,000 subscriber creator, to 100,000 subscriber creator. So it's that snowball. So I would have never reached that point if I didn't just meet other people that were at the same level as me. So don't think that you should just go to A to Z. You should also do the in-between steps. I hope this was insightful. I just kind of wanted to talk about this topic. I don't know if it's very relatable, but this was something that I did recently and I just wanted to talk about it. So, yeah. Subscribe if this helped any, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.